Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We have a lot of exciting stories to share with you, but first, let's start with some news from Spain, where Pope Leo has been making headlines during his week-long tour of the country. The Pope has been focusing on issues of war and migration, warning that escalating conflicts have pushed the world into a profound crisis. In a speech to Spain's parliament, he emphasized the importance of treating migrants and other vulnerable populations with dignity and respect, saying that the moral greatness of any country depends on how it treats these individuals. Pope Leo also met with 6 victims of sexual abuse by members of Spain's clergy, a move that has been seen as an effort to address the ongoing scandal of child abuse within the Catholic Church. However, some abuse survivors have criticized the Pope's plans to visit an abbey in Montserrat, which was included in a 2023 report on sexual abuse by Spanish clergy. The Pope's visit to Spain will culminate on June 12 in the Canary Islands, where he will meet with migrants who have crossed dangerous Atlantic waters to reach Europe. His speech to Parliament emphasized the need for international cooperation and support for those fleeing war, poverty, and persecution. It's a complex and multifaceted issue, and one that we'll be keeping an eye on as it continues to unfold. We'll also be exploring other stories from around the world, including updates on politics, business, and more. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we continue to explore the latest news and trends, I'd like to dive into a fascinating story that's been making headlines lately. With the United States gearing up to celebrate its 250th anniversary, a recent survey conducted by the Associated Press and NORC has shed some interesting light on how Americans perceive their country's identity. According to the poll, which surveyed over 2,500 adults, many Americans are feeling somewhat disillusioned with the idea of the American dream. About half of the respondents, 51%, believe that the notion that hard work leads to success no longer holds true. This sentiment is particularly prevalent among younger Americans, with only 22% of those under 30 believing in the American dream, compared to 46% of those aged 60 and above. The survey also reveals a sharp divide along party lines when it comes to perceptions of America's greatness. While 57% of Republicans believe that the United States stands above all other countries, only 7% of Democrats share this view. Furthermore, there is a significant gap in opinions on the importance of diversity, with 76% of Democrats considering the mixing of cultures and values from around the world to be essential to American identity, compared to just 40% of Republicans. It's also worth noting that many Americans are skeptical about the idea of a shared American culture and set of values. Only 56% of respondents believe that this is extremely or very important to the country's identity, down from 65% in 2017. As we approach this milestone anniversary, it's clear that Americans have differing views on what makes their country great and what its future should look like. While some see the United States as a land of opportunity where anyone can succeed with hard work, others are more pessimistic about the prospects for social mobility and feel that the country is becoming increasingly divided. As we continue to explore these complex issues, it's essential to consider multiple perspectives and engage in respectful dialogue. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of the challenges facing our nation and work towards building a brighter future for all Americans. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we close out today's show, I want to bring to your attention a developing story that has sparked widespread outrage and concern in France. The case of an 11-year-old girl who was killed, allegedly by a suspect with a history of complaints against him for crimes against minors, has sent shockwaves throughout the country. According to reports, the main suspect had been flagged multiple times in minor-related cases before the girl's disappearance and killing. This has led to widespread criticism of the French justice system, with many questioning how such a tragedy could have occurred despite previous warnings. The French government is now facing intense pressure to take action, with thousands of people protesting in Paris and calls for the Justice Minister, Gérald Darmanin, to resign. In response, Darmanin has ordered prosecutors to re-examine 70,000 legal complaints under review across France for alleged crimes against children. The mother of an alleged rape victim of the main suspect is also planning to sue the French state and the justice minister over how minor-related cases are dealt with. This case has highlighted systemic failures in the justice system and has sparked a national conversation about child protection in France. As the investigation continues, it's clear that this tragedy has had a profound impact on the country. The French government must now take concrete steps to address these concerns and ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.